Hey guys, welcome to our channel again today. This is Sam Ajayi here again. My wife is not with me today because the video I'm doing, she's gonna do her own too. She's gonna do her own version of the story. So today I want to be sharing something very important for all students across the world who will be going for their US student visa interview very soon. This information is very important, and I can categorically tell you that the reason why many people get rejection when they go for the student visa interview at the US embassy, the US consulate, is because of lack of information. Yeah, and I'm very serious. It's because of lack of information. The problem starts for very many people from the moment they start filling their DS-160 form. Now, when you start filling your DS-160 form, there are so many information that are required for you to fill. Many students feel things they cannot defend. Now, one thing you want to do when you're preparing to go to the embassy is to be very honest and sincere with your answers. Of course, you answer questions with wisdom, but your honesty is very important too. Now, in a situation whereby you feel something different in the DS-160 form and you can't defend it when you do the interview, there will be a problem, there will be a conflict. In fact, that is a very big red flag for the visa official. So how do you make it out? What do you do for you to be successful in your next US student visa interview? Now, number one thing, you should know the category of visa you are going for. Student visas are F visas. That is the category of visa you are going for. F1 visa, and it falls under the class of non-immigrant visa. Okay, now, and when you are answering questions, when you are filling DS-160 form, you want to answer as a non-immigrant. Okay, you want to answer as a non-immigrant, you are not answering questions as someone who is immigrating. Two different things. So let's take your DS-160 form, for example. In your DS-160 form, one of the things you'll be required to fill there is the purpose of your travel. Why are you going to the United States? Now, as someone who is applying for a student visa, F1 category, you are going there, your primary purpose is to study. Now, the question we also ask you, how long will you be staying in the United States? Now, you want to cross-check with your I-20 to see how long that will be. So in your I-20, you have the number of years there already. You have the start date, you have the end date. So you want to feel exactly what's in your I-20. You don't want any discrepancy. Another question you'll be asked questions about how you will be sponsored, who will sponsor the trip. You'll be asked questions about your employment details, your duties, and all those other stuff. You want to fill it to the best of your knowledge so that when you get to the embassy, you'll be able to defend what you are filling there. I know very many people make use of agents who help them to fill. In Nigeria, for example, I know there are agents all over who help people in doing these stuff. Why that is not bad, but you want to be sure that the right information is being filled in the DS-160 form. Because when the visa official is interviewing you, will be interviewing you, he will have your DS-160 form, what you have filled with him, and is asking you same questions. And when you fail and say something different, then there is a problem. That is very important. Now, let's go to the interview itself. Now, concerning the interview, first thing you need to know is that just like every other interview, there is a need for you to prepare. There is a need for you to prepare for your US visa interview. There is a need to prepare to think about questions that will be asked beforehand, to think about all those things that will be asked you, okay, and to rehearse how you will answer those questions. It is very important. How do you want to answer those questions? For example, what I did in my own case was I created what I call a transcript, which is I try to imagine. Of course, I got from people too. I saw from people different experiences of people. I learned from people's experiences. And I don't want to make the same mistakes they made. So I created a thread, Did I say thread? I'm thinking about Twitter. I created a transcript, um, which is more like a conversation between the visa official and myself, and I try to see what my response would be to those questions. For example, the very first question I put there is that, what are you going to do in the United States? That looks like a very simple question, but I tell you, very many people can fail that question. For example, in my own case, what are you going to do in the United States? I'm going to the United States to study. And I can move it forward and say to study physics at XYZ University. Another question says, okay, why United States? Why are you going to the United States? Now, you want to answer these questions to tell them why you have passion to study in the United States. You want to show them why you think United States is the best for you. In my own case, I wrote, United States is a superpower. I wrote that the best of facilities, the best of research facilities can be gotten from United States, and your certificate from United States can, take you anywhere. It can compete with, it can compete with any other certificate. Getting a degree from United States is the top, is the height for you. So I mentioned United States as being a world superpower. I mentioned the research facilities, and I think I also mentioned the fact that they are generous, with scholarships and assistantships and all those stuff. So you want to have a cogent reason, a genuine reason. Okay, another question is, okay, how many schools did you apply to? In my own case, I applied to like 8 schools. Yeah, I always advise people, apply to as many schools as possible. So I said, oh, I applied to 8 schools. I'm going to give you admission. I said, oh, I received 2, and I was still expecting 2. Okay, and the next question I put there was, why so university, XYZ University? So I said, yes, this university, apart from the fact that I've seen the many research outputs from the university, I've seen so many things from the faculty, from the professors. The university has one of the best facilities in the world. For example, in my school, the highest powered magnetic lab in the world is in my school. So I wrote it there as a reason for wanting to go to my school. Florida State University, I wrote it as one of the reasons for wanting to go to my school. Now, you want to be sure of what is specific, what is unique about your school. You want to know it, and you want to be able to convince the viewer to say that, see, I'm a genuine student. The whole essence of the interview is for the viewer to confirm that you are a genuine student. Now, another question is, okay, so what happens after graduation? Now, you need to know the category of your visa is non-immigrant, and you are to answer according to your visa category. You are not immigrating, you are going for studies. So you are expected to come back to your home country. So you want to tell the visa official, okay, after I finish with my studies here, this is my plan coming back to the country. You want to make it known, because you are only going for study. It's a non-immigrant visa. Saying things like, when I finish studying, I'll search for a job, and that's a red flag. The visa official will say, oh, this one wants to run away, this one wants to move, use this and get away. They may not even consider it as a genuine student. They'll just say that this one is looking for an opportunity to move out to the United States, and then that will be another visa category. Okay, so you want to make it clear that after your studies, you're going back to your home country, and these are the things you want to do, these are the values you want to add. You want to present yourself as the right candidate to go and enjoy the benefit of studying in the United States and using whatever you have learned, coming back to your home country to impact, to make impact with what you have learned. Okay, another question now is, are you married? Now, there's something about home ties when applying for visa. Okay, they want to see how attached are you to your home country. They want to see, do you have enough home ties, do you have enough reasons to come back to your home country. Okay, so your plans can be some of the home types you have. Your family members can be some of the home types you have. Your landed properties, your job, all those stuff can be some of your home ties. Okay. For example, one of the things I said was that I was a teaching assistant when I was a tutorial assistant when I was doing my masters in my own country, Nigeria. Uh, and then one of the things I said was that I'll be going back to my alma mater. I mean, I want to be a professor. I want to lecture. So one of the things I said was that I was going back to my alma mater to lecture. I mean, while doing my masters, I was a teaching assistant. So going for a PhD, going back to my alma mater to teach, to lecture, will not be something very difficult. Will be something, I mean, that's convincing enough. Okay. And the next question, are you married? I said, yes. I was married then. I'm married, not was. I am married with a kid. And then the next question I wrote there was, okay, why not going with your family? Why not going with your family? So I wrote there. This is still the transcript I prepared. I wrote there, okay, I won't be going because our kid is still young. He was 7 months old then. And I said, well, I don't want to go with him because of the changing environment and all the new stuff. I mean, I'll be new to that place, so I need to settle down. I wrote basically because of new environment, the weather condition and all those stuff, and it's still very young, traveling, the stress and all those stuff. Okay, and then I think I wrote many other things that, if I can remember, and then that in preparing, all I was doing was to try and prepare. Okay, one of the things I said, I wrote in that transcript that attracted me to the school. I wrote about the research work of a professor so and so. I wrote about his research work, how I'm attracted to his research work. I just wrote about his research work and what I think I can learn from him, and how I think I can use it to make impact when I come back to the country. Okay. Now, I also generated some other questions that I think might be asked. Now, I was asked about funding. How are you going to fund yourself? I wrote there that, yes, I have an assistantship. I've been offered an assistantship, which is what you want to seek when you're making admission to the United States. You want to look out for assistantship. That is the goal. I tell you, that is what you want. That is what you're looking for. You want assistantships, okay? So I wrote that I have an assistantship that waive my tuition, and then with stipends, monthly stipends that we use as an upkeep for myself. So I wrote those things there in preparation, in anticipation. You want to show clearly that you have funding, because you don't want to get to the United States and get stranded. It's a lie that you can get a job that will help you to pay your tuition fee. That does not work. Tuition fees of around $20,000 per year, and then you get accommodation and all those stuff. No, it's not easy. So you want something that can fund you. Now, for those who don't have assistantship, you have sponsors, you want to be able to prove that your sponsor has the amounts to be able to sponsor you. And you also want to be able to prove that your sponsor is ready to spend that on you. Okay, for example, your parents, if your parents are your sponsor, I mean, it's reasonable that they can spend that amount on you. But if you are saying someone somewhere, and one uncle of the brother of your cousin of your friend somewhere, it would be the one. I mean, they want to be sure, why is this person willing to pay this amount of money on you? Okay, now even if the people are not your parents, even though I usually advise friends, families, and close relatives, okay, even if they are not your parents, you want to be able to prove to them why those guys or the person is spending that amount on you. $20,000, $30,000 is not a joke, and it's not just and that's just for 1 year, and you are going for either a 4-year program, 5-year program, whichever way as the case may be, or 6 years sometimes. Okay, so you want to be sure that there is funding available and that the source of funding is genuine. Okay, so now after I did all those things, what I did was to rehearse with those questions again and again. I practiced over and over and over, and I made sure I'm very confident. Now, because you must be able to deliver your answer in few minutes with few words and then get your message across, because your interaction with the VO should take around 5 minutes thereabout before they decide if you are a genuine student or not. Okay, now all they want to see is this guy genuine? Is he not genuine? Now, fast forward to my interview date. What did I do? I've made preparations. I have a funding from the school. I know that that's my source of funding. I know why I'm choosing my school already. I know why I'm choosing my uh, career path, my course, and I know what I'm coming back to do afterwards. In my DS160, I already filled it correctly. I feel I was a teacher in Nigeria, so I already filled those things I was doing, and I knew the likely questions. I knew what my answers would be. And on the interview day, of course, same question came. Why are you going to the United States? What are you going to do? So I said the same thing. I mean, I'm going there to study physics, PhD physics at Florida State University. Why United States? Why Florida State University? I mentioned my reasons for choosing Florida State University. So for you, you want to mention your reasons for choosing your school. Funding. I was asked about funding, so I made it known that I have funding. I've received an assistantship from the school. And you want to go with your I-20. Always have your I-20 with you. For the visa interview, you need your I-20. Very important. So I passed the I-20 across to him, and he saw the funding, he saw everything. I mentioned the fact that I had another scholarship being awarded by the school. And I said all those things. And then you want to be very confident, be bold. I've seen people with funding got denied because they could not answer their questions correctly. It's very important to be bold and articulate. Clear words. Okay. Now, some people, I've seen someone who was denied because he didn't go with his GRE score. Now, you can be asked if you took any proficiency exam. Now, if you have done GRE, you have done TOEFL, you want to go with your results too. So that when you are asked, you'll be able to provide the result upon request. That's very, very important. Very, very important. Okay. So that I've written GRE. I think there was a question. This is very important. When my wife comes to share her own, and my wife and son, when they come to share their own experience concerning this visa interview experience, you will see some very important stuff there. I was asked by the VO, he asked about my family. I said, yeah, I'm married with a kid. So the next thing he said was that, so they will be joining you soon. Now, it takes wisdom to answer that. Now, the first thought that came to me was, is he trying to set a trap so that I say yes, and then he says, oh, you don't have home ties or something like that? But, I took the bold decision. I said, yes, they will be joining me soon, but they are not joining me now because, then I mentioned the reason I mentioned earlier. Our baby is still young, this and that, and I mentioned those reasons. Now, it would have been a problem if I said they won't be coming to join me, because that would mean that if they are going, when they are going for their own interview, the chances of them getting it will be so slim, because I have said that they won't be coming. You should know that everything you say is being inputted. They know everything. So don't think when I just go there, I'll just say whatever so that I can get it and then you leave your family. Be honest. Be honest. That's the whole essence of this stuff. Be honest. So I said yes, that they will be coming to join me soon. But I mentioned the reason why they are not following me. Of course, we made the decision for me to go first, and then why they joined later. Of course, they did join eventually later, and then my wife will share her own story too, how she got her visa approved. So, and then before you know it, my visa was approved. I was told to come back after 3 days to pick my visa and all those stuff. And before you know it, I was already in the United States. So, what is very important? What is special about this? Just make sure that all points, you want to block all points. You want to touch everything. Be prepared. This is a visa interview. Your dressing too is quite important. Of course, it's not as if must you wear suits? No, not compulsory. You can just make sure you are dressed nicely. you look good, and then be confident, be articulate, speak boldly. Very important. Speak boldly. That is very, 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 very important. Know what you want, know why you want it, have a plan. Rehearse. Rehearse. If you can look into the mirror, or you can form a transcript like I did. Okay? So have an outline of questions you think can be asked, and then say it out, write your own answers, what you think it should be, because it won't be nice when you are asked a question there and you start thinking. They don't have the time. If the VO is not patient, it just moves to another question, and that is gone for you. That is a minus for you. Okay, so now in your DS-160 form, you'll be asked to fill the place where you will stay when you get into the United States. Of course, it's not bad if you feel a temporary place where you'll be staying put, upon your arrival. That's not bad. You can add that. And then sponsoring your trip. Will you be the one to sponsor your trip, or someone else is sponsoring? Okay. And please don't forget, if someone else is sponsoring you, for example, will be paying your tuition fee and any other of those stuff, you need to go to the embassy with their statement of account. Very important. And please don't go with fake stuff. That's not good. No, don't go with fake stuff. You want to make sure that everything you are going with can be proved they are original. Okay, you want to go with bank statement that has money in it, and then the person is willing, of course, to sponsor you. You want to be able to prove that this person is willing to sponsor you. Now, I get asked questions about, okay, what if my department will be offering an assistantship, and then after my first year and I'm yet to get the assistantship? My general advice is usually this: let it be stated in your I-20. If it cannot be stated in your I-20, let the department write a signed letter. You should have a signed letter which you can take to the embassy as a proof. You need proof for everything. You cannot just come and say something. No, you need proof for everything. Okay. So a signed letter, let it be taken. In the worst case scenario, you can have an email conversation. Worst case scenario. And I must tell you, whether your visa will be approved or not is majorly dependent on that your interaction with the visa official. Okay. What you want to do is to prove that you are a genuine student. And that's what the visa official is looking out for. Is this guy a genuine student? Is he not? Okay. If it determines you are a genuine student, you also want to know, will he be able to fund himself? Will he just enter the United States and start roaming around, or start? No, they want to be sure. Okay. Then do you have what it takes to do what you said you will do? You want to study? Do you have what it takes? Do you have the academic capability? Do you have the financial capability? Remember, I've said it. Your financial capability can be in form of assistantship, or you're sponsoring yourself. They want to be sure. They want to be sure that you are also coming back to your country, because your category of visa is a non-immigrant visa. I'm stressing that again. Your category of visa is a non-immigrant visa. I'll see you in the next video. Watch out for my wife's interview story. Very, very sweet. Okay. I got my visa that day. I was so happy. I stormed out of the embassy. I'll show you some pictures. You just see when I arrived in New York. All right. I love you. We love you. Stay blessed, and don't forget, please subscribe to our channel. We want to be able to reach you. We want to be able to connect with you, so that every time we release video, you can get notifications. So subscribe to the channel just by your right. Okay, subscribe, hit the notification bell too. That's very important. Get us to 1,000 subscribers. We want to get there. We want to get there. We want to get there. We love you. God bless you.